If you thought reading IPA was impressive, wait till you see someone read a spectrogram. This is a spectrogram, and it's like a visual representation of the acoustics of sound, where the x-axis is time, the y-axis is frequency, and darkness is intensity. Reading a spectrogram like that is really hard and takes a very well-trained phonetician to do, but luckily, there's two of us here. So me and Noah have each prepared each other a couple of recordings and turned them into spectrograms, and we're gonna try and guess what each other said by just looking at it. So Noah made the spectrogram for me, and then this is what I figured out so far. At the very beginning here, we have something that's clearly a fricative or an affricate. There's a lot of high energy up in the upper frequencies, so my guess was a ch just based on the duration. Then over here, at first I thought this was an R because of what I thought was low F3, but then I saw this, which looks like an off glide. It's very clearly a vowel, very clearly an E because of the high F2 and low F1, which would make this y. The whole thing then would be a diphthong, so this couldn't be an R, it'd have to be a vowel. What kind of vowel? Well, F2 is very low, which would make it a back vowel, and F1 was somewhat high, which would make it a mid vowel, so this would be something like an A or an A, so this is why I gave this oi. This is some sort of sonorant. I would be inclined to say it's a nasal because of so much energy down here, but it could also be an L because of the high distance between F2 and F3. This vowel looks pretty much the same as the onset of the diphthong over here, so that's why I said it was either an A or an O. Over here, we have a very clear stop burst. Energy is quite high. F2 locus is around 2000, which would make it either a k or a t. And then at the very end, we look like we have another diphthong because it's quite long. Also, you can see near the end, F2 is very high, F1 is very low, which would make this another y off glide. At the beginning here, we have a very high, a decently high F2, which would make it a front vowel. However, F1 is not that low, so this would probably make it another mid vowel, so probably A. So this is why I said this is probably an A diphthong. All right, and then we just have to put the whole thing together. So we have choi, chai, lote, chai note, chai make, and just based on this, the closest English word would be chai latte. Is that right?
It is right.
This says chai latte, but you have to look